10 and short. Mateo literally sitting on the moon. Ramon Arias playing second base.
It was fun going to games again. It was fun feeling the energy of the yard. And I'm ready for the next step.
They're all exciting pieces. And, I mean, you could look at a lot of lineups this year and you could really feel good about the game. And I don't think we could say that for the last few years.
Hell yeah!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 66 of the Talking Birdie podcast, a special 6 wins in a row episode for the boys. Josh, Brian, how you doing, fellers?
Episode 66, 6 wins in a row. That's some dangerous territory there, but I like how
I'm out of here.
I like how you're starting the intros with the soundboard now, so it really messes me up when I go to edit it. Try to fade in the audio, and it's just, hell yeah. But weekend was good. The parents came out. We saw a Pirates game on Friday night. Got to go take some more BP at the park. Had an L screen this time, so we had some live pitching. I hit 3 or 4 bombs to left field with the Woody. Normal size field. It was probably about the same as the field we played on.
Wow.
And my dad felt like I should mention that he was also hitting well for a 50-year-old man.
There you go.
Brad, how you doing?
I did not hit any bombs this weekend on account of I can't swing a bat right now. So there's that.
Sorry.
I did just narrowly miss out an opportunity to meet up with you yesterday. Seeing that yesterday was one of those rare days where you wake up in the morning and have no idea where the day's going to take you. And it took me to Pittsburgh to knock ballpark number 11 off the list. So that was kind of cool.
How was your game, man?
It was a nice little experience. I had to roll out in like the 5th inning because I had to work at 5:30 this morning. So I got back by like
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I get back and it's one of those things where I'm stressing about trying to get to sleep as fast as possible. Therefore, I couldn't sleep. So by 3:30, I just kind of gave up and I stayed up and I got about an hour nap today, but I'm a little exhausted right now. But other than
You
that,
had to make a Dunkin' run.
I did that after work.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember. At some point, I did.
But
Whatever the fuck, it happened at some point. Yeah.
So
Brian,
where do you rank PNC though? How was your PNC
So,
experience?
I don't like including Camden Yards on my rankings list because I feel like it's separate for me. That's biased, and I don't want to be the guy who's like, "Oh, my favorite team's got the best park," you know.
But they do. They do.
I mean, there's a reasonable argument that they do, but like other people don't want to fucking hear that, or maybe they do. I don't know. So PNC, yeah, it's probably number 1 as far as non-Camden Yards parks. So it's
that's what I have as well.
Yep. So yeah,
You saw a night game, right?
yes, it was scheduled
Okay.
6:35 first
Right.
pitch,
Yep.
and it was a half hour rain delay. So it's
Okay, I would say the night game experience there is a bit better than the day game experience. Both are probably fine, but there's not a lot of shade during the day, and the lights from the city coming down into the parks.
Yeah.
Pretty cool atmosphere.
Yep, very cool stuff. Still, fuck Pittsburgh and fuck the Steelers, and all that, but nice little town, nice little park.
Nice little town.
Hell yeah!
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ryan, how was your
Ryan,
West Coast trip out
yeah.
there? Not even West Coast, but west of Baltimore.
It was phenomenal. I'm sad to be back. I hate this state. I want to leave. But no, it was great. It was a great time. We had a minor delay leaving on Tuesday. We're taxied to the runway and just kind of sat there for a second, and I was very confused as to why. It turns out, as the captain said, there's a coyote on the runway. So the airport vehicles had to go out and chase the coyote away. And then we got in the air, and flight was good.
Should have shot it. I retain that.
Flight was good. It's about a little over 4 hours going out there. First day we didn't do a whole lot because long day of traveling and whatnot. But we went in my cousin's pool, swam for a little bit, and then my other cousin Drew came over and we had like a barbecue. Second day we went to Prescott, Jerome, and Sedona. So we did this kind of like big loop around like central Arizona. Just basically sightseeing. We did a little hiking. Thursday was a pretty lazy day. And then Friday we went to the Diamondbacks game. And if I'm going to do the same thing as Brad and not include Camden in my rankings, then Chase Field is my favorite park.
Nice, huh? How big is it, like atmosphere wise, compared to Camden?
It feels massive.
Right. That's how it always looks in pictures, like in video games, because that like center field wall is so tall, and like the way the scoreboard sits up there, it just looks huge.
Yeah, it feels massive. I don't know what the seating capacity is. I'm sure it's about similar. I'm sure it's in the 40s, similar to Camden. But yeah, it feels huge. It's pretty cool the way they get the gates set up too. There's like you go through the security and everything. They scan your ticket, and then there's like, it's almost like a movie theater. They have like the glass doors as you go in, and I thought that was kind of weird. Then I realized once it gets to like June, maybe not even June, maybe May, that roof's going to be closed, and they're going to have to keep the AC in somehow.
Right.
So that's
Fair.
how they do that. But it was a great time. D-backs dismantled the Padres, and yeah, actually I did check, and that was final, so I did get to see the only game that the Diamondbacks won in that 4-game series.
Beat Tatis.
Yeah, dude, there was some real animosity there. It was pretty funny. Just booed him every single time he came up.
Your D-backs are sitting first place in the West there.
Are they still?
They were as of yesterday. If they depends on if they won today. They're currently playing, I think. But
No, it's over. They lost.
dang.
I know.
Well,
the big sad. They're
we got a lot of winning team action going on.
They're 12-12 or 12-11 now.
12-11. Yeah, that AL West is off to like a slog of a start. Like, because the Dodgers aren't playing that well. The Padres are kind of underperforming. Giants are doing what they're doing.
Meanwhile, Boston is 12-11 and last place in the AL East right now.
Yep,
it's insane.
It's actually you're exactly right, Brad. They're 12-11 in last place.
Yep. Despite the schedule changes, the AL East still maintains its difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because everyone else is winning more games now.
Yeah.
The O's might win more games, so is everybody else.
Tampa's lost 3 games to start the year, man.
It's fucking bullshit, dude.
It's insane. Their like team OPS plus is like 150 right now. It's ridiculous.
Can you say unsustainable?
I
would say unsustainable.
The White Sox did piss a couple of those games away this weekend. White Sox, I mean, what a joke. They should be much better than they are, but they fucking suck apparently.
Huge disappointment of a team right now. I think Oakland. That news actually has hit since the last pod, but they have commitment to purchase land in Vegas. Do with that what you will, but they're like 3-18 right now or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They did, I think they won their 4th on Friday. Yeah, they did because I won money on that game. Actually,
I think they're the worst start to a season based on run differential ever, -100 already.
Yeah. So when you say do with that information what you will, in terms of them buying land in Vegas, what you should do with that information is interpret that as they're moving to Vegas because they pretty much said so.
I thought that as well, but apparently they've done this before, like where they've had other land deals in place and then they backed out for some reason or another. But
this one's apparently binding.
This one's binding. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know the difference between this and the last few, but yeah, that's fun for A's fans. Apologies. Athletics rants on Twitter. You should totally be an Orioles fan now. He was trying to find a new team.
Vouch.
Yeah. Vouch.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, man.
It sucks, dude. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm picturing if I was like a little kid, even as an adult, it would really suck. But I'm picturing being like a little kid and losing my NFL team and my MLB team within
like 5 years.
Yeah. It's pretty heartbreaking, actually.
Just try to think of like your favorite team leaving. Like I know they probably have seen it for a long time coming, at least for a few years now, but still like you probably don't really think it's real till it happens and They just got that at like a 8 a.m. news drop or something.
I don't know if it makes it worse or not that they're both going to the same city. It probably doesn't make it that much worse, but
It doesn't make it better.
It does seem like a little bit like of an added fuck you too.
The thing that would really bother me, other than obviously the fact that they're losing their team, is like looking at the way, like how unsuccessful the Raiders have been there. I mean, have you seen any of the screenshots of their games? Like,
No.
it's I have to find this one picture.
Oh, it's all opposing teams fans.
Yeah,
It was the 49ers picture, I think is what you're thinking
Yep.
of.
Yep.
That's probably how it's just going to be, because that's just Vegas has a lot of people from out of town. And, anytime like the Yankees come to Las Vegas for a Oakland series, it's going to be mostly Yankees fans.
I did hear sorry, go ahead, Josh.
I didn't really have much more on that.
Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, was apparently talking shit about the A's for moving out of Oakland, even though he did the same fucking thing. He was like, yeah, they just fucked over the whole Bay Area. Like, okay, what the fuck what did you do, dude? I mean, what?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The sports billionaire optics are always really funny because they're just lie. It's just lies.
And then also this guy has the most ridiculous haircut ever. Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Let me look.
Oh yeah, he's like a fucking 70-year-old with a ridiculous bowl cut.
Oh wow, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to have that.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
It's like a little. It's not focusing, but yeah, a little just Lloyd Christmas bowl cut.
Yep. It's his signature though.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
I'm sure either someone has told him or he's noticed himself at some point in time that it looks ridiculous, but he's
I would just like to
that's
point-
me. That's my thing. So
I would just like to point this out here.
This is from last year.
That is a Raiders 49ers game in Las Vegas. And if you didn't see the field, you would not be able to tell that game is in Las Vegas. So
That's insane, man.
That is what I most feel bad about with the A's, is their team is just going to be turned into a tourist attraction like the Raiders have been.
Just an event going on in town while you're there for other reasons.
Well, that was like when the Chargers moved to LA. Like, apparently at a Lakers game, they put on the Jumbotron or whatever. They're welcoming the Chargers to town, and everyone booed. They're booing the new team coming to town, and they play in a. I don't know if they still did. They get a new stadium? I know they were playing the MLS stadium for a while.
Yeah, they play in SoFi. They share with the with the Rams,
and it was often dominated by opposing team fans there, because like, who the hell rooted for them?
Right.
LA didn't want them to come to town, and San Diego, I'm sure, still mostly hated them because they left them. So
yeah, well, LA and San Diego, like in sports wise at least, hate each other. Yeah, Dodgers Padres are pretty bad. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Baseball podcast.
We're talking about baseball.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it all connects to the A's move. So
yeah,
this is true. But the Birdies walked it off today and yesterday versus the Tigers, 6 straight. Pretty cool.
Well, they didn't walk it off yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
No, they walked it off on Friday.
Oh, that was Friday? What happened yesterday?
5-1 win.
Yep.
Oh, that was a 5-1. Okay, I had those mixed.
Yep.
Okay, fair. Well, 2 walk-offs in the series.
Yep. On 2 pretty stupid walk-offs.
Hero Adam Frazier coming through.
Both times, actually.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pretty scary that perfect game was still intact through 6 2/3.
Yeah.
Mont.
Thank goodness for Mont.
He had a good at bat there too. Like, Rodriguez was painting corners. Like, Mountcastle usually struggles pretty hard against that, but lefty on righty, he was able to foul a couple off and took it to center. So,
and thank goodness
Mont.
for that.
Yeah,
because I do not want my team ever to be in the headlines for that.
No, against the Tigers, no less.
Yeah. especially
Yeah.
against the Tigers.
Yeah, they were kind of hot coming into the series, but I mean, no reason the Orioles should lose a game or multiple games to that garbage.
I mean, even the bad teams in MLB usually win about a third of their games. I mean, Oakland might be a little bit under that by the end of the year, but you still got to figure they'll win about 50,
They're
so close to a third.
they're on pace for a 20-win season.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they're going to do a little bit better than that.
They'll probably hit the over on that, but it's still fun to joke about.
Yeah.
It is funny.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's like no excuse to ever lose to any team. You take two.
Should never lose a
3,
series against a team
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Right, that'd be very disappointing.
Yeah, people have too much of. Sometimes I think people have too much of a football mentality when it comes to baseball, where they're like, "You should lose. You should win 100 out of 100 games to these teams," and like it's just
Yeah,
Can't do that,
it
man.
just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way.
Think
Yeah.
back to the tank era Orioles. Even they would win like 1 out of every 3 games, and they were an absolute garbage product. So.
And they wanted to lose.
Exactly. The front office is trying to lose. The front office is trying to lose.
Every time they won, they were upset because they're not supposed to win.
I was upset.
I wasn't. I enjoyed the wins because it allowed me to go
I
be
know.
silly in the replies of the other team's Twitter account because they would be despondent after losing to the O's.
Yeah, it's kind of lame. We can't do that as much anymore because, like, it was always kind of weird when teams like Boston at the time would come into the Orioles replies and stuff because, like, you're supposed to beat us, but now we're supposed to beat these other teams, so you can't really use the deep fried memes as much.
I don't know,
Devin's-
dude. I think
Devin sends me memes that Rays fans make, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You can't meme when you're good. Stop it.
Not like this.
True. I don't think that's true. I think you can still do it.
You can still do anything. but-
If it's your thing when you're bad, I think you can still do it when you're good. I think it's a problem if you only do it when you're good.
I think doing it in the replies when you're good is a no-no, but you can like post them so people in the actual Orioles Twitter community can see them, and I think most people have transitioned to that, and they're pretty good.
I concur.
Okay. All right. Well,
Damn, bro, you really got Adley Rutschman laughing. I like that one.
That one is good.
The bucket hat on. Big cheese.
The one that our friend made where it's just Mount Castle, and he's like, shut the fuck up.
It's excellent.
It makes me laugh every single time. Never get tired of it.
No. Who do they play next series? I haven't been looking at the schedule.
Boston.
I probably should.
Boston.
Boston coming in. Yep.
Yep. And
Boston's coming to Baltimore.
then to Detroit.
To
So-
Detroit.
Kind of retarded.
So take 4 out of those 7. 3 against Boston, 4 against Detroit. You should take at least 4 out of those, right? Is that fair?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
4 out of
they'll
7
get,
minimum.
I think they'll get some revenge on the Red Sox without their voodoo magic to assist them.
Yes. Did someone just
Man.
start up like a DeLorean in the background? Some like time travel was conspiring.
That was the Roomba emptying itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Putting in those late night hours.
Yeah. Well, it gets itself stuck every time, so it never completes its task on time anyway.
Burning the midnight oil, eh, Roomba?
Yeah. It's gotta finish. It's gotta finish at some time because it fucks up when it tries to do it at normal time anyway.
So Boston, then Detroit, and then Ryan. Did you want to talk about Grayson since it was your little
Oh
topic?
yeah, I thought it was notable and worth bringing up that we were all kind of wrong about what happened when Bradish came back, particularly with how rough it started for him against Oakland. I'm sorry, tired. A lot of people kind of thought that as soon as Bradish came back, it's going to be Grayson going down, and instead it was Spencer Watkins.
Huge.
So I just thought it was notable that that happened. Brad, I know you were pretty low on him after that the first couple innings of the
So,
Rangers game. I was just wondering if you've had a change of heart at all.
okay, to be clear, big picture, I was not low on him.
That's not what I mean. It's not what I mean. I know you were more of the mindset that maybe he's not quite ready yet. Is what
It's because he was not sharp in spring training. I didn't think he had fully returned to form yet. He's definitely starting to look more sharp. Certainly the last 2 starts. Now, granted,
today was
Detroit,
his best start.
Today was clearly his best. Detroit has a pretty punchless lineup. Obviously, they scored 1 run all series off our starting pitchers. So I don't want to read too much into it, but he also could have not pitched well and done worse than that. So far, so good. But I'm not, I'm still kind of on the fence, and I'm hoping that he's starting to get together. I think it's big for his confidence, at least, that he's gone, 9 straight innings without giving up a run now. So, Yeah, he started out pretty rough, and now he's on a nice little run, and hopefully he can keep it going. I have no qualms with sending him out there. Like, I'm comfortable with him still being here, if that's your question, basically.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, you're pretty, like, he ain't ready to send him back at first, and I was just wondering if his starts since then have done anything to change your mind. So that's my answer.
Yeah, he took a 7 ERA down to low 5s. Irvin being bad didn't really help or didn't hurt for Grayson.
Yeah, that's also kind of the thing. I understood that he was called up out of necessity, so I didn't think it was necessarily a bad move. It just kind of wasn't how I wanted to see it happen is all.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't really like a complaint. It was just kind of like, oh, this kind of sucks. Because I wanted him to come in with some kind. I know it's common for rookie pitchers to come in and struggle, rookie anything, but I was just kind of hoping he would hit the ground running. And I knew, based on how spring training went and based on how his first start in AAA went, it just looked like he was not all the way back yet. And his first couple starts in MLB. But trending up. So hopefully we continue in the right direction here.
It's Ryan and I's greatest life research that to determine that rookie pitchers are bad for starters. It's our greatest contribution to the baseball world.
Yes. Rookie pitcher bad by
rookie
Josh
pitcher
and Ryan.
Bad. Yeah. Rookie pitcher first half especially bad.
Do you think pitchers are more extreme than hitters, or do you think?
Yeah.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the way even stuff like what Ram has said to us before, like the way people, the different like hitting perspectives, I guess, as they go higher through the minors. He said like single A guys are still basically like college batters where they're not really looking for certain pitches. They're kind of just swinging at anything close. But when he got to double A, he was talking about how guys are willing to take those strikes on like the outside corner, and he has to make better pitches to, I guess, be successful. But I can't imagine the bigger jump is when you get to the major leagues.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think you could almost see it with Rodriguez, particularly in that start against the A's, his first one at home that I was at. He got ahead of like everybody, like every pitch, every at bat. He was going 1-2, 0-2, and then he couldn't put him away.
Yeah,
it was he was either throwing stuff that wasn't competitive enough to get them to swing at, or he was just leaving stuff over the middle of the plate and giving up hits.
Yeah, like watching Grayson versus Jace Peterson was like the best, I guess, example of that, the way guys will treat him, because Jace Peterson walked all over Grayson. He took him to like 11 pitch at bats a couple times, I think, and Grayson just couldn't put him away.
And that's Jace Peterson, who is not what you would call a good major league hitter.
Right. This is the Oakland lineup.
He's the guy you sign when you're trying to lose games.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So that
people
just
wanted
shows
us to
the
sign
level.
him this year.
That just shows the level, I think.
But he's the guy who's right on the cusp of we're not going to win many games with this idiot. But when people accuse me of tanking, I can just say he's a veteran presence. So that's Jace Peterson.
Does it seem like there's been a kind of a swing or a shift, I should say, in the treatment of prospects? We saw that Grayson was called up out of necessity, like Brad was saying, and he's gotten a chance to stay. There was almost another incident of that when Arias got nailed in the head, and also kind of when Mateo when he did whatever he did and hurt his hip or something in Washington. The night of the Urias injury, they pulled Ortiz out of the lineup. And then the night of the Mateo injury, they pulled Westberg out of the lineup.
I need to see more before I can say there's a change, but those are promising signs.
No, in a word.
Don't think so.
I'm not going to beat a dead horse on this. I think you know my reasoning for this, and that reason is the biggest example of that is Adam Frazier getting signed for $8 million to block 3 top 100 prospects. So, no, I don't think there's a change in it.
Do you think there's a change in the
all three of them are top?
perspective?
All three of them are top 100 prospects.
I think
I don't think that's accurate.
in either Baseball America or MLB pipeline.
They're that high on Norby.
Yeah,
Norby did not make the pipeline top 100, but I think he was in one of the other ones.
Yeah. So not all in the same one, but in different publications.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really have a feeling.
100s.
I don't really have a feeling on it one way or the other. It was just sort of a trend that I noticed, and just wanted to see if you guys had picked up on that as well.
I think Brad's right about the Westberg situation because, I guess they maybe didn't expect him to be that good in spring, but I think depending on how they handle Westberg and Kowser, you'll see a little bit.
I mean, Kowser's
that could change my opinion
right now.
Yeah.
Of course, all it takes is a couple offers, and he's right back down to average because we're still early in the season. These sample sizes, the stats can change very quickly from game to game. At this point, but
yeah. Chad Stowers went down, but I have no idea where he'd play right now.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I'd like to see Kowser, but at the same time, I mean, I understand there's not – something would have to happen at this point. You can't really trade Santander for nothing right now.
I think he has one of the worst starts in MLB right now. Guess who number one is, though? Trey Mancini.
The worst start in the MLB.
Trey actually
offensive start.
Trey is
no. Colton Wong.
He's not as bad as Mancini.
He is, dude. He has a 288 OPS.
I know it's silly, but by WAR, Trey Mancini is the worst player in Major League Baseball right now. He has a negative 0.7 WAR.
All right, hold up. I'm pulling up Trey Mancini because I know Colton Wong. Yeah, okay. Mancini's got better numbers than Colton Wong.
But he's like a first baseman, corner infielder. Colton Wong plays second base, so he can be terrible.
That's fair, but Colton Wong has a minus 14 OPS plus. I didn't even know that was possible. God. I didn't even know that
was
brutal.
Oof. Oh boy! Didn't the Mariners trade for Colton Wong?
I legitimately learned that you could have a negative OPS plus because of Colton Wong.
Didn't they trade for him this offseason?
Let's see.
He is at a negative 1 WAR, so by baseball reference, he's also worse than Mancini. Traded by the Brewers with cash to the Mariners for Abraham Toro and Jesse Winker. So yes. Yep. Winker was not working out in Milwaukee, though. He was awful last year, so I guess I get it.
Mariners are...
But Wong put up decent numbers even up through last year, so...
Yeah,
this could just be like a crazy 53 at bat sample. He's obviously not this bad, but I don't know.
Mariners are not looking very smart with some of the trades that they've made recently.
No, they're kind of at a crossroads right now. They got they're at the point where the talent's kind of gone because they traded it for Luis Castillo and a couple other little names, and then Kelnick didn't work out, and all they have to hang their head on was Julio and some of the pitchers.
Kelnick is on an absolute heater right now.
He's good right now, yeah. Need to see more, but yeah, he's playing really well. But up until that, it was looking like kind of now or never. Next 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you typing? Can hear your analog keys.
I know. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I will stop.
Are you searching something in particular?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Brad, did you want to read off the fantasy score that I received, and then I'll do Ryan's, and then since Ryan didn't calculate Brad's, we won't say that one, but Brad also definitely lost with his team.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so just to review, the scoring is 1 point for a total base, 1 point for a walk, 1 point for a hit by pitch, 1 for a run, 1 for RBI, 1 for stolen base, -1 for a strikeout, and then you calculate the OPS for that time period with the decimal point over one spot. For example, a 920 OPS would be 9.2 points. So going through your hitters, Josh, you had Mountcastle, Cowser, and Adley. Your pitcher was DL Hall. Your leading scorer for the week was, the couple weeks, Adley with 36.34 points. Colton Cowser coming in second, 32.11. Mountcastle in third at 23.82. And then your pitcher, DL Hall, 19.33 points. So that brings you to a total of 111.6.
Wow, I got slammed. Ryan's team here, Mullins, Kerstad, Rom, Holiday. Pretty good names there. Ryan got 206.9 points. So you win your first one, buddy. You haven't won since 2021.
Yes.
Good job. Brad definitely didn't win with his team of Westberg, Gunner, Irvin, Norby. So not really much need to calculate it since Irvin was bad, Norby was average. Gunner is kind of bad right now. So congrats, Ryan.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
Wait, so I mean that seems like it can't be right though. Like that big of a discrepancy when Cowser and Adley did good. Like, did we do the same time frame?
So Drew, I did April 4th through yesterday.
Okay.
So the same time frame,
right.
But Kerstad was hot to start the year. I ended up with like 46.3. I accidentally deleted Mullins' score, but he was in the high 30s. He was your lowest scorer. Holiday had an incredible start. He was at 64 points, and then Drew Rom won 3 games, so he was worth 57 points. So
all right, I guess that. Wow. All right, I guess that does make sense.
He just picked up 4 guys who were, besides Mullins, I guess, who were like immensely hot. Mullins was above average, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lucky pick for me.
Yeah.
Lucky couple picks, I should say.
Lucky couple picks. So do we want to do the next fantasy here real quick?
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Sure. Let's do it.
So since Ryan won, Brad definitely took last and I probably took second.
Stop saying definitely, bro. we get the fucking point, man.
Brad picked a terrible team last week. So move it along. Brad, you will get first pick in this one. So whenever you're ready.
Wait, hold on.
What?
I thought the winner got first pick.
No, the winner gets last pick.
I don't.
That's how every sport works ever.
It is. I feel
this isn't
like,
a sport, though. This is fucking a silly fantasy game that we play on our podcast.
To be fair, I think we've switched how we've done it multiple times, so I don't really remember what we did last, and I don't really care. So whatever.
I don't feel particularly strong about it, so we can have.
Fine. Go ahead, Brad. Pick your shit.
Okay. I guess I'll go with Jackson Holiday.
A modest pick.
Which, I mean, it makes me nervous because my general theory is to pick guys that were cooler than usual, but I think Jackson Holiday is just too good for that level right now. So
yeah, until he's in Aberdeen.
I'm making. I was gonna say he's gonna get promoted to Aberdeen tomorrow, and then he's just gonna hit for like a 400. Yeah, he's gonna have like a 400 OPS because nobody can hit in Aberdeen for some reason.
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, I've been there plenty of times, and they say it's a bad park for hitters. It's like fucking 310 down the left field line, down the lines. I mean, yeah, it gets deep in the power alleys, but I don't know. I don't understand. There must be something different about the balls in that league too. That's also a possibility.
I don't trust baseballs at any level anymore.
Yeah. I would actually say that you're probably right there, Brad.
I mean, I do remember in 2019 noticing when they had like juice balls in the big leagues, they were also using them from AAA. I'd watch guys move up from the Bay Sox to Norfolk, and their hitting numbers would jump because the balls were just much more live in AAA than they were in AA that year. So there could be something in that being the case.
I feel like in 30 years they're going to come out with some article, and it's just going to be detailing the way the balls were used through like the 2010s, and it's going to be groundbreaking and make a lot of sense for to all of us right now.
It's crazy how much they manipulate them.
Yeah, and openly. He
Yeah.
just admitted it too. I'm going to take Kowser with my pick.
Okay.
That's a
Ryan.
good one.
Rin.
I'm actually going to go with Jordan Westberg.
Okay.
He's been hitting well.
All right. So now I'm really going to put my theory to test. A guy that I like that's off to a bad start. Max Wagner.
Ooh,
Max
okay.
Wagner.
Soon to be first Bowman. I'm going to take Gibby.
Gibby. I guess it's my turn again, huh?
Yes,
It is.
sir.
You guys
It's like
could
he knows, right?
give me an audio, give me a cue or something. Jesus Christ.
Pay attention to the order.
Give me Tyler Wells.
Ooh, he was my second option.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to take Rom.
Rom. Oh, I will take Heston. He's too good for Bowie right now. Rin.
Heston Kjerstad. It's a good pick. It's a very good pick. I actually just picked up one of his first Bowmans. I didn't have one yet.
I have a couple refractors, I think. I could send you some papers if you want them.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I know.
It'll cost you more to send them to me than they're worth.
It's true.
All right, so I've got my pitcher
And your major leaguer.
and my major leaguer, so I can go anywhere I want with this.
Yep.
Give me Samuel Basayo.
Good pick.
Okay.
All right, and Brad has to pick a major leaguer.
Aha. All right.
Adam Frazier, I'll just pencil you down.
It's funny because, like, if I were to go off of my method, that actually wouldn't be a terrible pick because he's been ice cold since that Boston series. So you could say that he's due, but I'm not going to do that.
That would be out of character.
Very.
Yeah. And the other logical options for me would be Gunner based off that, but I can't because I took him last week. So, yeah, just give me Mountcastle, I guess.
Mont. All right, I'll take Gunner.
Gun dog.
Gun dog. Gun.
I have a weird feeling about Ramon Arias, so I'm going to take him.
He did have a bases clearing double yesterday, so good
Sure
picks. So to review the teams for April 23rd, Ryan has Jordan Westberg, Tyler Wells, Sam Basayo, and Ramon Urias. Brad has Jackson Holiday, Max Wagner, Drew Rom, and Mont. I have Colton Kowser, Kyle Gibson, Heston Kjerstad, and Gunnar Henderson. So there's your teams for the next 2 weeks. Maybe we should try to calculate the points not 5 minutes before we record.
We say that, but that's what's going to happen.
I know. I'm guilty myself.
So
I'm still like getting reset back, being back on this time and everything. I totally forgot that we were even recording tonight until you guys texted. So
I was trying to lay flooring like right before we recorded, and I was trying to get this last piece wedged in there, and I totally lost track of time. Anyway.
Did you get it?
I did get it. It doesn't look great, but I did it. I messed up the side that I was pounding from, so it doesn't look that good.
Brad, do you have a minor league report for us?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with it. All right. We'll start with low A Delmarva. As we talked about, Jackson Holiday is just kind of shitting on everyone at that level. He's hitting just a hair under 400 with about a 1.2 OPS. That's about the same numbers that Kjerstad was putting up when he was in Delmarva, except Kjerstad was about 100 years older. So encouraging sign
Close.
there. Yep. Sammy Basayo, he's putting up a 950 OPS. So that is also an encouraging sign. Those are still pretty much the two main guys to keep an eye on. Although I will say Steven Acevedo, dark horse, he does have about a 900 OPS right now. So, pitching wise, there's not really anybody putting up any eye popping numbers. So, gonna kind of skip over that for Delmarva for the time being until somebody catches my attention. Moving up to Aberdeen, where nobody knows how to hit. Yeah, Dylan Beavers has one of the best OPSs on that team at 768. So that's like above that. That's like above average. It's actually
brutal.
Adam Retzbach, who was a catcher drafted last year, he does actually have a 950, but I believe it's in about half the at bats as the other guys have. So yeah, they're having a tough go of it hitting down there for sure. So Trace Bright, now on the other hand, pitching wise, he did start out really well. He only gave up like one run his first two starts with 13 Ks or something like that. Now his next time out, he got another 6 Ks. His ERA jumped up a little bit, but to 3.12. He was drafted last year, so I got to keep an eye on. He's off to a nice start. Gene Pinto's off to a nice start as well. 14 innings pitched, 2.57 ERA, and 21 Ks. So averaging 13.5 Ks per nine right there. So that's
nice.
Key guys in Aberdeen. Moving on up to Bowie. Heston Kerstad obviously won it for Ryan this past week, so he knows exactly how he's doing. OPS right around 1,000. Cesar Prieto actually is killing it too. He's hitting almost 400 with a 950 OPS. That's pretty much it as far as hitters are going there down there right now. Nobody else really popping off the page as far as pitching goes. Justin Armbruster, he is in our top 30 as far as prospects go, and he had a lot of success in Bowie last year, and it looks like he could be on his way up to AAA soon because he's got 14 innings pitched with a 1.26 ERA. So good to keep an eye on him. He could be this year's Noah DeNoyer, perhaps. And lastly, Norfolk. Shout out to the Tides. They put up 17 runs today. So,
shoo, nice.
Yep. Kowser, after getting off to a really slow start, his OPS was like 300 or something through a week and a half. He's caught fire enough to get that up to almost 900 now. Stowers, he's in the low 800s. Westberg, he's in the mid 800s. Joey Ortiz is even a little higher than that. He's at 865. And Connor Norby's in like the mid 700s. So a lot of interesting names to keep an eye on as far as hitters go. Wow. Okay. Cole Irvin. He actually did well his first start. And when I was paying attention earlier, it looked like he was through 3 scoreless, but he just got lit up today too. So
tough.
Yeah, the early returns on the Cole Irvin trade. I mean, we didn't give up like much, obviously. I mean, Hernandez might be decent, but he was probably the 6th or 7th middle infield prospect in our system. So it's not like we had to give up a ton for him, but it does kind of suck that I think we all had, somewhat high hopes that Irvin would be a decent piece.
His sub 4 ERA last year. I think it's reasonable to have expected him to be good.
Yeah. Right. Now, granted, someone did point out to me the splits on him were a little ridiculous. Like he had like almost a 6 ERA on the road, and it was really low in Oakland. But you could make the counter argument that he should have a good ERA in Camden Yards too.
Right.
Yeah.
That left field wall.
Daryl Hernandez through 10 games in AA with Oakland has a 617 OPS.
Okay. So. Yeah. So it's not really about what we gave up. It's just kind of disappointing that.
So take that, Vegas A's.
Yeah, suck on that. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Pitching wise, Rom killing it. 21 innings pitched, 17 Ks, 2.14 ERA. We got any Bruce Zimmerman believers? Anybody?
No.
But he is putting up good numbers though.
I'm a believer that he will never pitch another game in an Orioles uniform.
Okay. So the question, I think I agree with that. Do you think he'll ever pitch another game in the major leagues? Like even if it's for like a tanking team.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear the Vegas A's are looking for bad people. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, he's doing pretty well, but he also did well in April last year too. I'm pretty sure he had like a 2-something ERA at the end of April last year. Shout out to
I'm sure the Dodgers will pick him up and he'll be like a Cy Young candidate next year. So.
or the Rays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep him away from the Rays. Oh my God.
Noah Denoyer also doing well. 1.5 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 13 Ks. DL Hall, he's not getting shelled, but he could be doing better. He's got like a low 4 ERA, 20 Ks, 16 innings pitched. So that pretty much covers the guys that matter. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Alrighty.
So
All right. Well, the O's got a couple big series coming up here. Well, I guess I wouldn't call the Tiger series big, but the Red Sox series is, of course, a big one. Brad, did you say it's a 4-game set?
the Detroit series.
Detroit series is 4. Boston is 3.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
at any rate.
I actually do want to counter your point, though, that you wouldn't say the Detroit series is big, but I think it is big that you take advantage of the bad teams. So
you know what? You make a fair point.
I think we've done a good job of that so far. I was talking to somebody before the see your cat in the background making an appearance up on the TV.
Yeah, he's watching the hockey game.
What was I going to say? So we had this was before we had 4 games versus Oakland coming up, 2 versus Washington, and then another 7 versus Detroit. And me and this other guy who I usually disagree with in one of these Orioles Facebook groups, both of him and I were on the same page. Like, you absolutely cannot do less than 8-5 in this. Hopefully, at least 9-4. Well, we're through 9 of those 13 games, and we're 8-1. So, 4 games left. If we at least split that, if we take 3 out of 4, that's beautiful. But that's the key with what the Rays are doing right now, man. They shit on the terrible teams.
Yeah, they're just beating up on the bad ones.
And you know that the AL East teams, when it comes down to it at the end of the year in the playoff hunt, their win totals are probably going to be inflated from those shitty ass teams too. So we got to take care of business.
Yeah, and the Orioles lost last season in May and April, so need to take care of that this year.
Yep.
So I think 3rd best record in the league, maybe 4th or 5th.
I think it was like 2nd in the AL. I don't know about the league.
It is 2nd in the AL for sure.
Yeah, so they lost it early. Adley came and it was a bit different, but yeah, the season was, it didn't feel like it, but the season was lost in the first 2 months.
Yep. All right, boys. Well, like I said, 2 big series coming up. Thank you for correcting me, Brad.
Don't forget the last note on the sheet.
Oh, very important. Very, very important, guys. Brad does briefly review the notes.
So,
yes. Hell yeah! Made a point to write that.
For about 5 seconds.
Yep.
All righty. Yep. Is that it, boys?
That's it.
All right.
Good.
We will be back with you guys next weekend and hopefully talking about some more dubs in the book.
Yes, sir.
Yep, they'll be on their 13th game won. We'll be on our 14-game winning streak this time next week.
Hell
yeah! Yep.
The longest I have ever seen them go on in my life was 14 games, and that was that was in '98 in September when they were way out of the playoff hunt. They won 14 consecutive meaningless games.
It's a very Orioles thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about right. All right.
Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you again next week. Bye-bye.
All right now.